Hello, thanks for joining me today. This is Amanda with Crafting with Amanda, and these are 3 of the cards from the Craft with Heart card subscription. Please remember to comment on the page, subscribe to YouTube channels, and like the posts, and that lets YouTube know that these are things that other people might like as well, and it really helps everyone out. Thank you. So this is card number 6, and I apologize because I think I only have the second card in this, or this is just the end of there's 2 cards of each design, and this is just the second half assembly of card number 6 because I lost the recordings for cards 3, 4, 5 and the first part of 6. So I am just seasoning the stamp before I stamp on the inside, and because I have the foam mat, the VersaMat mat with the foam side up, I don't need to worry about having the foam from the card kit. And just I'm going to add a sparkle there, a sequence, and kind of give some interest on the inside. And here I'm trying something different, and I decided, oh, you know, a tilt, maybe not, do a tilt. And I love just having these extra pieces from the Cricut file to play around and just add a little more foliage and layers. I'm really enjoying that. So if this is the first video that you're watching in this series, there is a Cricut design file available. If you have the Flower Market image set from Close to My Heart, all the images would be free, otherwise you might need to purchase some images, but it all comes from the Flower Market cartridge. And it's designed so that you can cut a less than 6 by 12 inch piece on the Cricut, and I did it in 4 different colors, and then you get all of these extra images to play with. So that bluebell palm frond, palm fronds or palm branch is one of the extra ones, and the pink leaf, actually it's a peach leaf, is also one of the extra. And I did some second generation stamping with the leaves from an old stamp set just to give it some background interest. And I used to like everything so crisp and clean, and now I'm really liking more layers and backgrounds, and it's funny how our interests and our likes and all change. So, and then I'm just gluing the pieces together. I grabbed that twine out of my stash. It was, I want to say, a Whisper twine from a few years ago, but it works really well on this card. It goes well with that gray plaid background, excuse me. And these die cut shapes, I went ahead and did some style embossing on them. You can see that brown leaf that I'm doing right now has some dimension to it, and it'll keep that dimension because I've bent the fibers enough. It won't stay super bent unless you added pop dots behind it, but it will keep some of its bend and make it look more natural. So deciding where I want my sequins, adding my white glue on there, and then popping them in. And I like how this card turned out, really kind of cute. So there we go. Now what we're going to put on the inside, do another leaf, second generation, so you saw that I stamped it off on the side there, and that's it, and that'll just be a nice note card. I stamped the leaves on the envelopes as well. I don't know if you caught that. So here's a close-up look at them. And now we are on to card number 7. And they had this as kind of a Christmas piece card, and so I'm kind of doing the layout here. And it's nice, and here's, you know, what's left of the Cricut cuts at this point, so I'm going to audition some different things. And I'm going to decide that I'm going to add all stars from the Cricut cuts and get rid of the pre-die cut stars to the other card. So I'll do one with my die cuts and one with the die cuts that came with the kit. So there we go, moving them right on over. It's funny in hindsight, I've watched this video a couple times just to remind myself what I had done with it, and I kind of wish that I had kept that white circle of stars whole and just put it behind everything like I had put originally. So that's hard for me to do. I feel like, oh, you're hiding so many things. There's so many stars that are hidden behind things, and what's the point of them being there? But I like how this turned out. It's just little different hang-ups that we have in life, and I have lots of paper. I can cut more stars, and I need to embrace that. So not in a wasteful way, just in a, it's okay to use the things you have and that we can make more. And it's good to use the things you have and that we can make more. So here you can tell that I'm adding all the stars from my Cricut cuts and tucking these in underneath. And I just used the piercing tool to kind of open up where the glue was so that that star would be hidden under there and work better on the card. And I like how I layered the bluebell in the center of the star. And now I'm using some of those really tiny silver stars from the last Craft with Heart kit, the May to September one or May to August one. There were some stars left, and I just like to use them almost as a, it's kind of as a glitter, but it's a bigger than glitter but smaller than sequence kind of thing. So I have my jewel picker there helping me put those on, and I really like how that turned out. And for this, I think I'm doing a Make-A-Wish. Yep, this will be a birthday card with the stars. I always tend to need masculine or non-feminine, I'll call it, birthday cards. So this will just add to my stash for a little bit. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 nephews and 2, 3, 4 nieces. And that doesn't count friends with kids, because, you know, just friends of the family, you know, close friends. I think there's 3 boys and 1 girl. So I'm always in need of non-feminine birthday cards. And here I'm just playing with those stars again. I'm kind of doing a it's a trick of the eye. It's an artist thing to make it go from one side to the other. It draws your eye across your page or your painting or your artwork. So it's going from the upper left to the bottom right corner. And I do that on a couple other pages too. And I don't know if you caught earlier, my tip of my glue bottle is plugged, and I lost my pin, and my pins are in my sewing stuff that are packed in the garage still. And so I just poured it out and ended up putting some back into the bottle. But I use my piercing tool to pick up from the pile of glue there on my nonstick mat. And I strongly recommend that you stamp your image or your sentiment first. I just got really lucky in that my stars still had room to go around that sentiment. It almost looked like I planned for it, but I just got lucky. And add some stars to the matching card so that that all looks cool. I like to do some stamping on the envelopes. Just, I think it lets people know, ooh, something's coming. This will be fun. So now I have all of these stars and snowflakes from the other set of cards and this one to use. So I think this will be kind of fun. I tucked the one in the upper right corner, and I think I end up removing that and moving it to the inside. So there I just seasoned the word peace on my arm so that it would hold the ink better and get off the manufacturer's film. All right, so I'm happy with how that's gonna look, and I'm gluing it all down. This video is sped up about 5 times my normal working process, so I just figure people can see the process. You can stop the video as you need to catch up, but if you just want to watch it, you're not lingering over the placement of glue and stars and things like that. So now for the inside. Christmas blessings from our home to yours is going to get stamped in there. And then I brought that white snowflake that was from the first card, and I'll put that on the inside. And I think I'll add some sequins, because who doesn't like a little bit of shiny stuff? And again, it's kind of moving in a upper left to lower right way, kind of gives your eye going from one side to the other. And just an update while we're watching this, the kitchen cabinets have been installed, and we don't have any door fronts on them yet, because floor demo is happening tomorrow. So this is card number 8, and this is the last card that I'm doing in this set. And I love the flowers, the die cut flowers that they send. So here I'm just adding some blue palm branches, and that's the bluebell color, and I'm going to add some blue flower heads, and I like it with the white because the die cut has so much white around it. So I'm just kind of auditioning the combination of colors, and I just like adding the one in there. I think it just gives it a balance with the bluebell palms and the one flower head there. Add one of the white leaves that I just folded in half, and this card is going to be done. I think I'll add a few sequins. Oh, and Joy to the World. I know this isn't a traditional Christmas looking card. I am not one of those people that limit Joy to the World to December or even to January. Joy to the World can be all day, every day of the year. So one of my friends who knows me well will probably get this card in you know, February or March next year, or maybe I'll even send it out in October, and they'll laugh and they'll know this is Amanda. So, and this is what I call stylus embossing, where I'm just kind of using that stylus to give some shape to the die cuts. And I'm curving, you just drag the ball tip of that stylus from the tip of the flowers to the center, and it just curves them right up. And most of the times with flowers I do a double curve, so I curve them up and make it into like a bowl shape. Then I turn it over and I just stylus emboss the center so that your flower is like it's puffed up leaves that are curved under. So, but with these I just curved them up. It seemed to be what was working with those flower heads and with the palm branches. And as you saw, I pop dotted that die cut flower collection there, and then I'm just adding the other in around it. I'm using my tweezers to hold the one flower down. Oh, and I forgot to add sequins, so I bring that back in. And at first I was putting them on the flowers and I was just trying to get the right. There's multiple colors and sometimes there's subtle differences. I noticed even in the gold pack of sequins, there's like a gold that's shiny and a gold that's dull, but it's a brass color, versus a gold that's dull, that's more of a brushed gold. And so with the bluebell as well, there's the same kind of different colors. So I was going through and picking so that they were all the same color but different sizes. And I think I'm cleaning up, so I think that must be it for the outside of that card. And now we're doing this one in a portrait card. And I'm just kind of dry embossing some veining to that white leaf. And here I'm just curving the palm branches up a little bit. And those will settle down some, so they're over curved right now, but they'll settle down some, but not fully. Again, unless you got an iron out, it's just like when you wrinkle a piece of paper. It never goes back to fully flat unless you know, apply some heat or pressure or something else. And that's perfect because we don't want to have it go fully flat. We want it to have some dimension. And I'm using the foam tape that's on the inside of the star foam shapes for the shaker cards. So I just cut that into usable pieces and put it on the back of things. And then I'm attaching my palm branches because I didn't want them to be off of the card, so I wanted to make sure that they were within the card frame. That's why I did it that way. And now just again glue together the flower, put it on the thing. I'll probably grab my, yep, there it is, my tweezers, and that'll hold the flower down while I dig out some more sequins. The little cup that I have was actually a cover for the new sink that we got for our master bathroom in all of this construction chaos. And it's it's kind of the consistency of a Pringles lid. So I think Pringles lid would work for this, but it's more bowl shaped. It's not a flat top. And I can just squeeze that circle and pour my sequins right back into the bag. So I just love it, and I wish I had like 4 or 5 more. So I might have to go buy my kids some Pringles, and you know, they'll sacrifice and eat them for mom so I can have the lids. But again, I don't know how the Pringles lids would work, if they're a little harder plastic or if they're as flexible as this drain cover lid, but I absolutely love it. And again, I'm kind of working in a triangle with those embellishments. So 2 together on one side, 1 on the other. If you drew a line, you would have a triangle. And that's just something pleasing to the eye. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to subscribe to see the rest of my videos, and have a great day.